Okay, so it's almost midnight, right? Now I've got this voice note sitting on my phone from a client, and I just not opening it. I already know what it is, or the guy. I know what he's gonna say, and I just sit there looking at it like, man, that's actually what I want to talk about in today's video because that moment, that specific feeling at 11:52 at night, where you're literally dreading hearing from someone you're supposed to be helping, that told me something I've been avoiding for a long time. So let me take you back to let me take you back like eight months before that. I had just signed my first consulting client, and bro, I remember that day. Everyone remembers their first client, right? Like it wasn't even really about the money. It was more like it's okay. This is real. Like that moment gave me confidence that this shit is real, and somebody actually sees what I'm building, and they're paying for it. Well, I fucking went crazy. Custom everything, built them their own Slack channel, running at like 10 p.m., jumping on random calls, and I genuinely thought that was what being excellent at this stuff looked like. And honestly, the first client was freaking great. So about the second one. And honestly, this is the part that nobody talks about. When you're saying yes to everything, it doesn't feel like you're making a mistake. It feels like you're just being serious about what you do. Like you're putting in the work, and the second client was smart. He had real experience, and by the way, he moved it like he just thought my time was always available. Like voice notes at 11 p.m., a quick conversation, a quick question that somehow just turns into like a full hour of strategy. And the scope just kept creeping along slowly, and I generally didn't notice it happening. And you know how the tide comes in on a beach, and you're just sitting there reading, and then at some point you look up, and it's at your chest, right? And that's literally what this was, if you think about it. And week six, I'm working 70 hours, literally 70 plus hours for just two clients, and that freaking land for a second. I was contemplating about it, and I hit an epiphany. So when my when I went to sleep, my sleep starts going, then my sleep went away, and my patience went away. And then at some point, I realized I've stopped actually caring about the work. That one generally, that one genuinely hurt me because that's why I started doing this. So back to that night, voice note sitting right there. I didn't open it for like 3 fucking minutes, and in those 3 minutes, I just did the math and thought about the actual hours. I calculated the actual hours, every late night message, every Saturday check in, and I told myself I was gonna be quick all the time. I just spent just carrying this guy's stress around in my head all week. Well, and I divided that into what he actually paid me, and the number that came back was nowhere near what I thought I was making. I was billing premium rates and working like I was fucking broke, and not just in my money broke, but also in my time. And honestly, like bro, fucking honestly, the thing that got me like to the most wasn't even him, wasn't even that client. Okay, like what's he supposed to do? I literally handed this man a key and said, "Come whenever." So he came whenever, and that's not his fault. That was me, right? And I opened the voice note, exactly what I knew it was gonna happen. Just another thing he needed. I closed my laptop and sat in the dark for a while, and I just finally stopped making excuses for why the situation was that it was. Because here's the thing that actually matters, right? And I came to understand that night. The problem was never this client. It was never even how hard I was working. I had built something with literally no edges to it, no defined scope or structure, just open-ended thing where I was basically promising to cover whatever came up. And I think about this the agency business model is a fucking scam. Like if you think about it, surgeon, right? They're in the middle of open heart surgery, and the patient goes like, "Hey, well, you're in there. You can look at my knee." Like, no, that's not how it works. You you don't just expand the surgery because someone asked, right? But that's just I was doing every single time when he asked. And because I had no scope, every hour I worked was just 1 hour. Every hour I worked was just worth 1 hour. Nothing was building. There was no leverage or any compounding effect. It was just me running as hard as I could, going nowhere. And literally, I cannot scale it running on a treadmill, right? And this is where you need to pay attention and actually need to hear me out for a second. The model that you're running, the way your business is actually structured right now, that's the ceiling. that is the ceiling. And it is not a motivational problem or a discipline problem. Like if you're stuck at 50K a month, that's $1,000 retainer for every client you've got. And you've got 50 clients, let's say. Give every single one of them just 1 hour a week, and that's already 50 hours gone before you've done any sales, any content, any actual business building. Now tell me how you double that revenue. You can't. The math doesn't hold. It doesn't matter how logged in you are. The design itself makes it impossible. Really makes it impossible. So I, I thought about it and finished the engagement. I stayed professional for a while and I did the work. But in those last 2 weeks, I built something that genuinely should have put in place before I ever signed my first client. And I call it a container, not a retainer, a container. Right. Clear deliverables, set communication times, a proper framework where this person knew exactly what they signed up for and what exactly they did need and they didn't need. And I know this sounds backward, but the work actually got better because we optimized for effectiveness and efficiency instead of just acquiring more clients. And because of that, I wasn't just hemorrhaging energy in every direction anymore. I actually could show up present. And of course, running on empty is giving you maybe 30% of what they're actually capable of. So if you watch this along the whole time and something in it hit close home, then just let me say this. You're not just tired because you can't handle it. You're tired because you've been running a business like a practitioner when you're supposed to be building a company. A practitioner just works harder when things get hard. A business has systems that carry the weight so you don't have to carry all of it yourself. And you might genuinely be outworking everybody in your circle right now, but you're putting more effort into a broken ceiling, into a broken structure that just gets you to some dead end faster. And it is familiar and right. And two completely different things at the same time. Real quick, if you want to work with us, the first link is in the description. Book a call with us right now. It is a free advisory session, no sales call. So yeah, go take a look. Thanks for watching this video.